Patron, formerly known as Alberto Del Rio, is set to defend the AAA Mega Championship against Vikingo this weekend. WWE seemingly spoiled the outcome of this title match on Raw, and now everyone expects for Vikingo to walk into Worlds Collide as the new champion. Del Rio promoted the match during an interview on a Mexican TV show named Venga La Alegría, but things got out of hand and tensions flared after a video played where Vikingo introduced his father, who then arrived on set to confront Alberto. Chaos ensued as Alberto attacked the father and started throwing objects around on the set. One woman shouted out for security and told Del Rio to leave as Del Rio put his hands on a staff member on his way out the door. Many are questioning whether or not this is a work or it's just Del Rio losing his mind again. More than likely it is a work, but some of those hits were pretty stiff on an older man. It's no secret Del Rio isn't all there amidst his run of controversy in the past. He was previously released by WWE in 2014 for what the company described as, quote, unprofessional conduct after slapping a staff member over an alleged racist remark. Despite multiple controversies over the years, recent reports suggested that WWE had been in talks to re-sign him as part of the broader deal with AAA. And then conflicting reports say WWE wants nothing to do with him, and rightfully so. Super Lucha's editor-in-chief Ernesto Okamo recently claimed that WWE had signed several AAA stars, including Del Rio, Vikingo, and others, with speculation that they may appear at WWE Worlds Collide. Of course, thus far on the build for the crossover show, we've seen matches announced including Psycho, Clown, and Pagano, and we've seen Vikingo play plenty a role in various moments on Raw ahead of his Chad Gable match too. So while we are one degree of separation away from Del Rio returning, I don't see it happening. I'd be surprised if they even mentioned who Vikingo took the title from at Worlds Collide. WWE needs all the positive PR they can get in times like these, and with their focus on global expansion, Del Rio's latest drama raises serious questions about whether he truly fits into the company long or short term. For now, we'll have to wait and see if this Del Rio incident is a part of the story or just the latest in a string of messy mistakes. And let me know your wrestling hot takes down in the comments below. It can be current day or it can be in history, and you'll have a chance of being in the next episode. Mercedes gets too much unjustified hate, and that match versus Jamie was amazing. I partially agree. Sometimes people do go a little too far in hating on her. I do think that Jamie match was really strong. I've seen mixed things online. Some people think it was a banger, some people think it was a stinker. Personally, I think it was a banger and I really enjoyed it, although I did want Jamie to win. AJ Styles should join AEW. Honestly, I'm gonna go ahead and say it right now, I kinda want to see it. I'm not anti-WWE when it comes to AJ Styles. I think they have treated him like a golden god. We thought, okay, the face of TNA for the last 10 years is going to WWE. They're gonna say, okay, let me teach you a lesson. But instead of treating him in any way less than he deserves, they made him one of the greatest WWE wrestlers of all time. The man was a WWE champion within a matter of months of being in WWE. He is an intercontinental tag team, United States champion. He's had some of the biggest pay-per-view matches they've ever had. AJ Styles, it is safe to say, is a first ballot Hall of Famer. We're seeing arguably one of his final runs, and while he can still go, I would love to see him mix it up with a guy like Will Ospreay. I would. I can't lie about that. Trick winning the TNA title is dumb. It devalues the belt and the company when someone from developmental beats your top guy. Look, I see what you mean, but I disagree. It's not like Trick Williams has just arrived in NXT and now he's getting pushed to the TNA World title scene. This is Trick Williams. Recently, I've seen a mixture of hate and love for him, but to me, he's one of the very best that NXT has. But I don't think it devalues the TNA title at all, because I don't look at Trick Williams as a developmental guy. Sure, by definition, he is a developmental guy because he's still in NXT on the developmental brand, but at the same time, are we really in the big 2025 still looking at NXT as a developmental? Hell, if we're counting it as a third brand, that third brand is oftentimes better than the first and the second. And Trick Williams is no doubt about it a guy that could easily be main roster bound sooner rather than later. He could easily fit in on Raw or Smackdown, and so I don't think it devalues the TNA title at all. I believe we're getting closer and closer to Tony D'Angelo getting the call up, and I have no idea how they can make it work. Okay, Tony D going to main roster, let's talk about it. I really wish they didn't go ahead and break up the family before before he went to main roster, I think the visual of them all pulling up together on Raw is way stronger than just 3 of them. Like, the family is now so disjointed, and I know for years people have been saying, well, where does a gimmick like Tony D'Angelo's fit on main roster? It's kind of niche for NXT and it works there, but would it work on main roster? And for a long time, I said absolutely, of course this can work on main roster. I can see the vision. This would have eventually got tiring, but I think at least to introduce them to the main roster, if they would have had the released WWE superstars in storyline being whacked by the family, and that was how they were getting written out of the story and out of main roster, I think it could have been really entertaining, but now the boat has sailed. Or at least you could argue that the boat has sailed. I feel like now they're probably going to call them up all individually. Adriana Rizzo to me feels like she's going to be completely fine on main roster. She might get repackaged a little bit, but she'll be fine. I almost see a Carmella path for Adriana Rizzo, where Luca Cristofino and Tony D'Angelo may eventually be release bait, but Adriana Rizzo is just gonna stand the test of time. She might even win a title or 2 on main roster. Sol Ruca versus Kalani Jordan may have been the best match in ring on Battleground. I was actually impressed with both of them. A shout out to Sol Ruca and Kalani Jordan, 2 of the most talented wrestlers in the entire world right now for me. Especially that Sol Ruca. She is absolutely brilliant, and that top rope soul snatcher, mamma mia. And I know I saw some people being like, that's so unrealistic. Welcome to professional wrestling. What do you think we're doing? Stephanie needs a push to the main roster in the coming months. Well, it's funny that you should say that because I think she's about to go to main roster. Given that she just lost the NXT Women's Championship to JC Jane, which by the way, shout out to JC Jane. But rumor has it that Stephanie Vaquer and Jordan Grace will be moving to Raw for Stephanie and SmackDown for Jordan Grace respectively. And I'm very excited to see them mixing it up. Like, imagine a SmackDown roster with Jordan Grace, Julia, Charlotte Flair. You got Chelsea Green, Mia Yim. That's SmackDown Women's Division, boy. Ooh. And the Raw Women's Division speaks for itself. You got Rhea Ripley and Stephanie Vaquer on the same roster. Book it, Triple H now. I have 2 dream matches I've been writing to you for a while, if that's okay. You know what? Just because you said it so politely, it is okay. The Fiend versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania. That is an absolute banger. I know we already saw Bray Wyatt versus The Undertaker, but The Fiend versus The Undertaker, it's a different vibe. And if you make that the Prime version of The Undertaker, oh my goodness, what a match that is. And The Fiend versus the Demon Finn Balor, which is a match that I don't think we ever got. At least from what I'm remembering, it was supposed to happen at TLC 2017. And then I think Bray was ill, and then they called in AJ Styles and they did that dream match, but I don't think they ever revisited Bray Wyatt and the Demon Finn Balor. And the comment rounds off by saying, it sucks we couldn't get these 2 or even one of these. Yeah, I completely agree. Those 2 matches would have gone crazy, especially at WrestleMania with the right bill. I'm honestly getting tired of the Dominic Mysterio love angles. It's getting boring. That right there is a guy that had a crush on Roxanne Perez until about a week ago, and now he's like, you know, nah. Great show, but man, these shows ending at 11:30 p.m. I was falling asleep. How do you feel about so many matches on pay-per-views? United Kingdom resident over here talking 11 p.m. Oh, that's hard for you, huh? Cry me a river. I would adore that, but personally, I will say Double or Nothing, absolute banger, a little too long. 4.5 hours, kind of unnecessary for me. A banger show is a banger show, but sometimes you do feel a little bit of burnout, especially after a long pay-per-view like that, a long weekend of wrestling. And I know that this year it's been a bit of a debate topic about certain cards having only 5 matches like Backlash did. And then there's other cards like Double or Nothing, which has 1 million matches. For me, I feel like the sweet spot on a pay-per-view is like 6 or 7 if you really need, but I quite enjoy the whole 5-match card. It just feels easier to digest. Hot take, but the Ruthless Aggression era was WWE's peak. Love your channel and videos. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you. I would actually put the Ruthless Aggression era over the Attitude era, but for me personally, I'm still gonna vouch for that Black and Gold Prime NXT era, because that era for me was the peak of WWE. And if we're not counting Black and Gold NXT, then yeah, I'll give you Ruthless Aggression / early PG era as like the best era in my opinion. Honestly, I think Trick is gonna hold that TNA title for a long time, and Joe is so WWE bound. I'm gonna say yes to Joe being WWE bound. I think it's inevitable, but I don't think Trick is gonna hold that TNA title for a long time. I think maybe a couple of months. I spoke this week about them doing a storyline where the TNA wrestlers are trying to get the TNA title back from from Trick Williams and Mike Santana has already got that underway, so I don't think he'll hold it for too long, but maybe a little bit. Battleground was freaking awesome. The women really brought the heat, Miles gave a fantastic performance, and Trick versus Joe was just pure sports entertainment greatness. I'm really hyped for NXT's next phase. First of all, I just want to say I love your enthusiasm and positivity, and second of all, yeah, Battleground was freaking awesome. I absolutely love NXT. Hear me out. Kiana James is the 4th member in Heyman's faction. Ooh, I not only like that, but I'm trying to see it actually.